We're moving, we're vibing. While we're talking, you can get your laugh on. Watch the channel of a video. Subscribe, like and follow. Chillin' with the girls, with the girls. Girls, with the girls, chilling with the girls.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Welcome, girls. All right, so welcome to another episode of Chillin' with the Girls.
Yes.
So we are so happy to have as our guest tonight, Shana Bailey, and she is the author of a cookbook. And it's called Uppity Brunch. We're going to find out about that name, y'all. Uppity Brunch. We're going to find out where that name came from.
Absolutely.
Right. She's going to share with us some recipes from her, or present with us some recipes from her book, as well as some spiritual and physical healing that she went through. She's going to share her journey, her healing journey with us. Okay. So we're going to just give it on over to Shana Bailey.
Yeah,
Well, hello, ladies. And I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I am so grateful to be here to discuss my book, but more so to get to know you ladies and have a little fun with the girls. So a lot of people ask me, how did this book come about? So I just want to talk a little bit about my journey and how I got to Uppity Brunch. So it was 1995. When I was a cheerleader at Howard University in Washington, D.C. I wasn't feeling well. I was exhausted, fatigued, tired every day, just walking across campus. Hair was shedding, nails were breaking. I had lots of symptoms that my body, I knew something was wrong and that I needed to get to a doctor as soon as possible. So I ended up calling my Jamaican pediatrician from childhood. And I said, Dr. Hines, please, I want a thorough, please just check me out. Something is wrong. Because I was an athlete. I ran track for years and then was a college athlete. So I knew that this was not normal. So we had to run a bunch of tests. She felt a lump on my neck during that time that she saw me in my physical, right down here. She found a lump right in the nape of my neck, the bottom of my neck. And then she says, that's interesting. Why don't we, run some blood work and see what's going on? This is, the thyroid area. Some women know, some don't. This is called your thyroid area. So she said, well, let's run some blood work and see, if everything's okay. And then the blood work came back normal. So then she was really concerned. And she said, well, because, I think she was thinking it might be like an overactive or underactive goiter, a benign growth. And then she realized, okay, well, the blood work isn't indicating that. So she called me back and said, we're going to, do an appointment at the hospital and get some cells taken out of it. They're going to take a needle and kind of extract some cells from the lump on your neck and send it to the lab and see what's going on. So needless to say, the doctor called my mother, let my mother know. And actually, when she called my mother to let her know the results, because I guess I was still considered not a minor, but I was in college. So, and the doctor went to medical school with my father. So we grew up next door to them. And I talk about that in the book, this relationship and she's my godmother. Oh, wow. So she called my mom. And she says, well, I should come over, when you guys get back, because we're actually celebrating my birthday. In 1995, it was September 8th. We were out to dinner or brunch. It was brunch. And she called during the dinner. And I just saw the look on my mother's face and I knew something was wrong. And, I was already nervous waiting. And I didn't, I just was like, well, let me just try to enjoy my little birthday breakfast. So we got back to my mom's house that later that day. She came up, walked up the hill, and she came in my room. She sat next to me and held my hand, and she told me that I had cancer. Ooh. And so last week Thursday was my 47th birthday. So I'm 27 years cancer free. It was my 20th birthday.
Yes.
And just celebrated 27 years on Thursday. And I always take a moment to take some time to reflect and just be grateful and make sure that I'm aligning with my purpose every day.
Right. Yeah.
And that to me is really, really huge. And that's how the book actually started back then when I was diagnosed. It just didn't come out until COVID, and I had time enough to write it. So after the diagnosis, I had to come out of school and then go back. I took some time off to have surgery, radioactive iodine chemotherapy. Like it's part of the way that they treat thyroid cancer, which, if you find it, and it's very treatable if you catch it early. I had stage 2. So it was I had my whole thyroid gland, part of my thymus gland, and several lymph nodes removed at that time, and then had the chemo right after that. Okay. Then went back to school because, I had to get a little therapy. I went to therapy and was obviously pretty shocked and had to adjust to my now new life, right? Because I was on a football field last week cheering at a football game. And then I was prepping for surgery and chemo. And what does this diagnosis mean? Like, I don't even know I didn't know what a thyroid gland was until this diagnosis. So I was an athlete my whole life. So it was just really quite a shock for me. So Uppity Brunch came about, and it's something I manage every day, monthly, yearly, for the last 27 years. So let's fast forward to, we don't need to fast forward, but I will say that part of the healing for me, and a large part of it, was coming together for that Sunday dinner with my family and friends, that brunch, that emotional support. And I think when people think about cancer, they're automatically thinking about the physical parts of what your body experiences. But it, in fact, is a lot of the emotional well-being, and like the depression and the anxiety and the isolation and the feeling of loneliness, even though people are around you.
Yeah.
But they're not experiencing what you are, and especially at 20, because they out wondering where the next party is, and you are managing medications and all of that. So, and I just want to say, and I think the dietary part, for a long time, I was on a very strict, I was very strict with what I ate. And I still am, like, this book has a lot of rich and like decadent, like, these are for special occasions. I tell people this is not for every day. Like for Sunday brunch, for your Easter brunch, for Thanksgiving brunch, whatever, this book is for special occasions. And when you're entertaining at home, and especially during COVID, we were doing a lot more, bring your mask. We're going to have a few people on the deck. Okay. And so that's where Uppity Brunch, create a 5-star brunch at home, came from. And Uppity Brunch is really a play on the word, when they say uppity, kind of like a bougie brunch, but it's more of like, upscale, sort of fancy brunch is really what it means. Like you're elevating it, you're taking it up a notch. Okay. And then that's what I mean by uppity. And then also a play on the word about looking up and praying and being mindful.
I love that.
So we continue to look up and praise him and be grateful. And a lot of times, the only time we pray, some people might only pray over their meals. And when the family comes together, is on those meals, and you're holding hands and you're touching and agreeing. And you have that safe space. It's a safe space where you can be vulnerable. And I talk a lot about vulnerability in the book, and how sometimes as Black women, especially, we are so strong, right? We're like we're superhuman sometimes. And sometimes it's almost to the point where we can tend to not want to be vulnerable all the time. And that's okay. Like, and I think there's power in being in vulnerability because you never know what someone else is going through.
Yeah.
And you never know that you might free them up to share their story and be vulnerable. And then now what? You both have support that you may not have had before had you not shared your story with someone. And I mean, you never know whose life you could change or life you could save.
Yeah.
And I said, when I wrote this book, if I save one life, then my work is done. And it was my hope and prayer was that I will touch a lot of people and save lives by sharing my story, because I was, in fact, I felt like I wanted to die. I won't say the word suicidal, but at 20, when you are starting your life and everybody's having fun and doing these things, I got to some really dark places where I didn't want to be here anymore.
So were you journaling during that process? Were you journaling?
Yes. Yes. And I talk about that in the book. Absolutely. Okay. That was definitely part of my testimony, is that I did have to write a lot of these things down, because sometimes you don't want to burden your mom or your family because you feel like you don't want them worrying about you. So it does feel very lonely sometimes because you internalize a lot. And so journaling was very therapeutic because you don't feel like you're getting it out, but you don't feel like you're bringing someone down or
being a burden to
making them worry. Mm-hmm.
So how long was your journey?
Say that again.
How long was your journey?
From 1995 to now, to today. You mean is that what you mean?
I'm telling you your experience, like going through your sickness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I still have days where my body, because once the thyroid is your master endocrine gland, right? And this is how your body processes everything you take in, all of your food. And I have a synthetic form now replacing a natural gland that I've been on hormone replacement for what my body doesn't produce on its own. I take every day. And you have to adjust the levels and I don't always feel great. I don't always wake up feeling, I'm putting it mildly, some days I feel like I cannot get out of the bed. But that's where that devotional piece comes every morning. And you're like, Lord, I need some strength to get up and get out. And once I'm out, sometimes I'll get so busy that I don't remember how I'm feeling. Then I get home and I'm like, oh my goodness. But, I try to exercise a lot. I definitely love walking and hiking. And so in the book, I explore, I would say four things that came together to get me to where I am now. And one of them was, coming together with my friends on the weekends and having a support system, a close, trusted friends where we would have meals together and share. So I think the health part for me, I focus more on the emotional and psychological well-being, more so than like the food in this particular book. It was more about the coming together for meals and sharing our stories. But part of that was the coming together for meals, exercising, my Christianity, my church family. I don't know what I would do without Kingdom Fellowship, AME. Oh my goodness, my church family. And I'm pretty much an every Sunday Christian and a Tuesday night Bible study when we could go. But now it's COVID, so now I do it virtually. But I'm a every Sunday church person, and I just feel so connected in the sanctuary and that corporate prayer and the power of that. And I feel like it fuels me for every week, like that I can get through my weeks. And on Tuesday nights, I'm in the Bible study because by Monday, the devil had already tried me.
Right.
But did it affect your singing or your speaking, your singing?
So yes, it did. My voice did change suddenly because your vocal cords are right there. And that was one of the things that we were concerned about when I had the surgery, because I was in a singing group prior that we recorded some music. That's actually how I met my husband.
Okay.
My singing group signed with Warner Brothers Records back in 2000 in New York. So I lived in New York, and I met my husband, Natalie's cousin, actually at Warner Brothers Records.
Okay.
And,
Wow.
So I was singing with 5 young ladies at the time. And when I had the surgery, they said it would affect my vocal cords, but I'm a tenor. So it was kind of like, it wasn't a big difference, but I noticed change in my vocals for sure.
Yeah. So you were saying, I'm sorry. So real quick, you were saying like back when you were 20 and when you was first diagnosed and your mom first told you what was going on, you had a support group then? You were going out with your friends then? And was it? No,
it was the family. Like it was just, initially it was my family coming over. I tell you, I had one friend, Sharon, who is my best friend from like 12 years old. She knows who she is. She actually is she posted something on the blog. You'll probably see her if you check it out. But she came over and she was there, but she was also still at Howard in college. And so she had, she was still a college student and she lived on campus. So she would come and visit when I was at home, but more, it was just like my mom, my dad, dinners with the family. It wasn't the friends set until later, much like I would say grad school. So that was maybe 4 or 5 years later, because we moved to New York when we got a record deal. And then we were just always together and hanging out together and having meals together. So we all moved to Brooklyn, and my best friends are still in the singing group that we had from then. And we still have our meals together and, and support each other that way. But
cool. Okay, so did you cook back then as well, though?
Oh yeah. So this is a funny story. So thank you for. So yeah. I've always cooked. So if there's a kitchen in a grocery store, I'm always cooking. So we had a party in Brooklyn, and this is when Kwame and I were just like friends. We weren't even like because he worked at the record label. And he was our artist and repertoire. We were just hanging out all the time together. And that's now we're going on 18 years married, actually. So,
good. But he's a musician or what?
No, he's marketing and business development. But he was A&R, which is artist and repertoire. So he used to help us basically get our album made, which we recorded a whole album and never got released. That's a whole nother book and a whole nother story, literally. But he, I will never forget. He came over and this is the story. It might be in the book, I think. But he came over and we had like just a little cookout. It was like we had a little thing at the house. And at that time, he was like, "All right, I'll come by," or whatever. And I made the potato salad. And he's like, "Was it the potato salad or this dish?" But it was a potato salad. I will never forget. He went around that party trying to figure out who made the potato salad. He was like, "Who made this potato salad?" They were like, "That was Shana." He was like, "Where's she at?" He was like, "Where is she?"
That's funny.
And the rest is history. And I've been feeding him. And
wow.
The rest is, he literally was like, "Who made the potato?"
I told you so, a man's heart. Didn't I tell you that?
She never lied. That's because they gonna keep one more. He said it was this other shrimp dish I made. This shrimp, it was like linguine. It was not even anything. It was just some, through some. He was like, "No, it was a shrimp dish." I'm like, "No, it wasn't." But anyway,
we know, right? We know.
They don't know what's going on.
Okay, you keep on coming back home.
He's still in my face asking me to make some stew. So he's still right here.
So do you have a favorite dish
in the book or
period? Just period.
Oh, I like so let's focus on this book. So in this book, the buttermilk waffles are my favorite.
I'm gonna show Shana. Go ahead. Why are you talking?
Yes, the buttermilk waffles are definitely my favorite. And I named the dishes in here after my family members.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you noticed that, but each of them. So let's see. Who did I name? I got to remember who I named. So I think it's my niece Sydney for this one now. Yeah. So I'm getting old, y'all.
Girl.
Oh my goodness.
So the buttermilk waffles are Elijah, my love. That's Elijah, named after my son. And I'll tell you, he loves these waffles, guys. Like, loves them. So the waffles are named after Elijah, and so that's my favorite. The greens, of course, that's what everyone, when I go somewhere, they're like, "Can you make them greens?"
Yeah.
So those are kale and collards.
Oh wow, kale and
I
collard is really
mix them
good.
too. I like that mix.
I do a lot of garlic. I love a lot of garlic, and so yeah, that's in there, and that's a buttermilk. Yeah, the buttermilk chicken tenders. That's a good match to go with the buttermilk waffles. This is my favorite drink here. The Nayabu. It's a amaretto. It's like Kahlua. If you like coffee flavor, it's Kahlua and cream kind of flavor, but it's also almond.
Okay.
Amaretto and Kahlua. It's delicious. And you could do like a soy or a rice milk with that.
Okay.
You shake it up. Yeah.
And that's somebody's name in your family too, Amarada.
Naya. That's the Nayabu. That's my other best friend, Naya. That's named after her. So those are vegan. Those are the chickpea lettuce wraps, the curry chickpea lettuce wraps. And that's a ginger dressing on there.
Is that cheese on there?
Looks good.
No, those are carrots. Those are shredded carrots
And bean sprouts.
and ginger dressing.
Oh,
Those are delicious. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'd have to try that one. And this is
Yes. And this is a charcuterie. So in the book, I have a charcuterie section.
okay.
It just talks about the history of charcuterie. And so that's the top layer of that. And these are the mango mimosas.
Okay. I'm sorry. I keep going back. Okay. Here's the
Yeah, these are the mango mimosas. And those are just, a splash of peach schnapps and mango nectar and a dry champagne. And then that's the Bloody Mary. And then this is the wonderful tropical fruit salad.
so
Delicious.
good.
That's so delicious.
So what's all in that fruit salad?
So there's, that's great. It's banana. I put the banana, I just slice the bananas right before it goes out because bananas will get brown. Yeah. So there's mango, blueberries, like green grapes and strawberries, some mandarin oranges.
Oh, wow.
I like to do the mandarin oranges and mix the fresh fruit with the mandarin oranges, watermelon. And that's a real treat together. All of those combined is delicious.
And that's pineapple decorate.
And it's so pretty, right, for a party. The fruit salad.
This is a ginger with lime and vinegar.
Yeah, that's the ginger beer. So that's so you could do a non-alcoholic. This is Kwame calls it the this is actually Kwame's drink in the book, and he calls it the Boston Mule, named after a Moscow mule. And it's a ginger beer, usually ginger beer, vodka, and lime. And you could do fresh ginger, like however you want to do it. But and you could also do the ginger beer and lime separately without.
Back to the greens. I think that's it, right? It's
the deviled eggs. Did you pass the jerk deviled eggs? Yeah. Oh no. Go next to the next one. So this is the sweet potato home fries.
Oh,
good. So on the side, those are the home fries on the side.
Yeah, I just did fried egg, and those are the dish. Okay. The dish is the home fry. The red there is the sweet potatoes.
Okay,
but they're savory. They're savory. I just used the sweet potatoes and did like a home fries.
It looks so delicious.
There's some pimento and some thyme and sea salt and stuff like that.
Wow.
I found out how to stop it.
Oh.
So this is the smoked herring rundown. Some coconut milk in there and some onion and tomato and some seasoning, some pimento and some ginger. That's one of my favorites too. And I just put some grits there with some of the greens on the side.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites if you like fish. Okay. And then I think the next one is I think the jerk deviled eggs are next. If you can move to the next slide. Oh, wait, no. If you keep going, okay. I think we'll get to the devil. Oh, wait, we can stop here because these are the egg frittatas. Oh.
She can go back. Okay.
So the egg frittatas are so easy. Like you basically make it.
Okay, yeah.
Like you're making a scrambled egg, but you use the muffin tray and you bake it. Yeah. Like it's like mini omelets.
Yeah.
So I just talk about, because those are easy, right? You could just bake those and be done with the eggs. So that's all that is there.
And you know what, Shana, cooking is really therapeutic. Like that's my best place. Sometimes, if I'm going through, I just chopping up onions and all that kind. It's so therapeutic. People don't.
It is so therapeutic, and you see it from the beginning to the end. It's like you finished something. If you don't finish anything else,
you gotta finish it, but you can eat it.
You can eat it, and it's just like the treat at the end of it.
Yes.
House looking crazy, kids running around amok, but that food got done. You did something. Listen, that's real talk, and that's a whole word.
Right?
Yeah.
So those you can make that with vegan eggs as well. Oh, I know that would be
Yes.
good.
Yes. And maybe the diet cheese, is that what they use? The DIY
Yes.
cheese. Yeah.
And mushrooms, because I don't eat meat. So mushrooms.
Yes. I do the sun-dried tomato, and the mushrooms would be great.
I love that.
The sun-dried tomato is one of my favorite things to put in there. And you could really just do, so I do crab. And I do the crab dip, but I'm wondering if you have a sub for cream cheese. Do you have?
There's vegan cream cheese.
So that would be delicious then if you do that with the crab and put it in there with so that and I chop shrimp. But coming from Maryland, we do a lot of seafood, and I do talk about this a little bit in the book. I'm from Maryland, like born and raised in Maryland. So that's how Murlan, Maryland. I'm from Maryland, and we do crabs. It is a thing. And my mom, she went to Annapolis to do a crab feast in 1975 on September 8th. She said she ate a whole dozen crabs by herself.
Yeah.
And I popped out. Hey, I popped out that night. Her water broke.
Wow.
I was literally born eating crabs.
No way.
Yes, I was. And it's my favorite dish to this day.
Wow.
Anything with crabs in it. So the crab dip, that's my nephew's favorite. He's always like, Auntie Shana, can you make that crab dip? So he's so cute. That's my brother's son. So that's named after Johnny, the mocha crab dip.
Now I paused that one.
That's in there somewhere. But and then those are the lettuce wraps. That was just how we did it. You scoop it out and put it in the lettuce.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me,
Now, does the coconut, is that just the
Well, I use coconut milk in the recipe, so that's more for but yeah, you can do fresh coconut milk. I did a video on the blog on the Uppity Brunch at my Instagram and how to make fresh coconut milk.
Oh, cool.
But that one I use the can. I mean, you gotta have time to do these things, but I do have a video where I do the fresh coconut milk. Okay. And then these are the plantain pastries. And you just cook up the plantain. I added a little agave. You can do Nutella, you can do chocolate, you could do peanut butter and a puff pastry, and you just wrap it up and bake it.
Okay.
And those are delicious. Yeah. But I love sweet. I have a sweet tooth, so I love a good sweet treat. I do.
I want to get rid of mine.
I put a lot of agave in the plantain. Okay.
Right.
I don't know. And this is a French. Yeah, this is one of my favorites too. This is good. And I like our almond. I like the almond extract. And I know everyone can't do the almond, but I like the almond extract with that. And I'm bad. I do the condensed milk. You might have to sub that out for the people that are afraid of
I didn't even think about using the condensed milk for the with the French toast.
No, the buttermilk. The buttermilk. The condensed milk is in the waffles. Yeah, sorry.
I know that's good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the buttermilk and the condensed milk. That's why I said you can't do it every day.
Right.
But I do the almond extract in the waffle and the and for the French toast.
You ever do the cow milk?
You can do the vanilla almond milk.
You ever cook
what is
milk?
Which one?
What kind
Sour milk.
Sour milk?
Yeah.
Oh, so is that the buttermilk? Is that the same?
It is. I think it is. It's butter.
Oh yes. That's what
If your milk get a little sour,
those waffles are a problem.
They light.
They are a problem.
This right here, this looks so good.
It is so.
Oh wow, what is that?
That's the smoked herring. So I get the smoked herring from Trader Joe's.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it's in a green can. It's so easy to make this, but it tastes so good. It's no bones. You just pop that thing and fry it up with sliced tomato, onion, slice up some onion, some coconut milk, season it up. I like it the Maggie fish seasoning. You can add I don't really measure. I just so I would have to actually look at how much I put it in the book. But ginger is great to cook with too. So ginger, the coconut milk, and just season it sea salt. You probably don't need a lot though, because it's already kind of salty, the smoked herring, when you buy it. So, but that's great with the greens too.
So do you chop your ginger or do you grate your ginger?
In this one, I normally just chop it up.
Okay.
I just peel and chop it up. But this one, I think I use the dry ginger. Sometimes I use the dry ginger, but I use a little more when I do dry ginger.
Okay,
yeah,
I see.
Right, because it's not as strong as the other ones.
Right, you got to use a little more.
I was trying to find your eggs.
I know. So this is the table setting part, and there's a part of the book where we. I just think it's fun to have a pretty table when you sit down. You got some fresh flowers, and you got a nice table runner, and you know where the glass and the fork is supposed to go on the knife. So there's a part of the book that we go into that.
Yeah.
Table setting.
Atmosphere. It sets the atmosphere,
and it makes you feel so good when you walk and you have your table set up and with the flowers and.
Yes, I'm a firm believer too that I don't just pull out my china and my forks on I do it a lot because I feel like we don't do it enough. It sits in the cabinet all year long.
Listen, I was listening to Tony Evans' wife before she passed, and her children said they always had china every time they had dinner.
Yeah, you pull that thing out on the weekend.
Like you said, you only use them for about Thanksgiving or something like that. So she was like, they use their china.
I love that. I love that because you feel special, and you're like you're saying to the people that are at the table, you are special.
Right,
you're important. You don't have to eat on paper, and you saving money with all the paper plates.
That is so true. Say that again.
And the environment.
Yeah. I like it. Now we don't do it every day, but we will pull those plates out, a lot.
Eggs, I can't find your eggs. Ooh.
So that's the plantain pastries once they're cooked.
Okay.
Oh, this is the crab dip.
Oh.
Yes, honey. Right there in that puff pastry and bake it.
Oh, I know.
It's a problem. It's a problem. It's real butter. I'm sorry. It's real butter in there and Old Bay seasoning.
Yeah.
Cream cheese.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
So good. It's so good.
Rich.
There's a vegan butter. It's really good.
So yes, vegan butter and that vegan cream cheese, and try it. And you could probably use the vegan crust that you said you could use and just see how that turns out. Yeah. You don't sometimes when I folded it like this, when it bakes, it kind of opens up, which is fine for me because I'm going to eat it so fast. But you can also fold it in half and just, pinch around the corners.
Be in the book?
Say that? Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes, honey. You got to get the crab in there for it's brunch,
I cannot find your eggs. I'm still.
They're in there somewhere. I don't know because when I was up, I was learning. I actually built my website by myself, and I was learning as I went. So I was just adding pictures, and I was like, "Oh, I added that," and I couldn't remember which ones I added. So at the bottom, if you go to the bottom where the small squares are, I think if you keep clicking, you can click real fast to get to it. Right? No, if you go with it, I think if you keep going, then you'll see the
eggs.
Oh,
there they are.
I found them. Wait a minute.
Yay.
Where did they go?
So we lost it. We found them and lost them.
Okay, here they go. Right here.
Yep. There we go.
There we go. That's one of them. Yeah. So there's a couple pictures. So yes. So this one, these are yummy. So these, I just added a little jerk seasoning to what you would normally do for a deviled egg. I use real mayonnaise, little relish, sea salt, all that stuff, and but the jerk just takes it up a notch. So and I use the Grace's for this one. I use a Grace marinade, just a little bit of that.
Okay, paprika on the top.
Grace.
Do you use paprika?
I use smoked paprika on the top.
Say it again.
Smoked honey.
Oh, you gotta get the smoked honey. Gotta
get the smoked paprika.
Yes, you do.
So yummy, and it adds a kick. It just kicks it up a notch.
And you gotta put the relish on there. I know.
Oh yes.
Even when I had I just boiled eggs the other day, and it's I put relish on because I guess you have that sweet taste that's so good.
Yes,
I did.
Yes.
Oh, and then you
have to use real mayonnaise. You can't use Miracle Whip. Well, for me, I like the real mayonnaise in the deviled eggs, the Helmets or the Dukes.
Yeah. It's certain recipes you can't use Miracle Whip with.
Like potato salad. You need to use that Dukes or the Helmets.
Right.
It's a crab salad too. You can't use
no.
with that.
No.
Right.
We don't. No.
So
no.
you could put crab in that as well, couldn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
You can have fun with it all. Yeah. Yeah.
Crab, macaroni, and cheese. Good.
Yes, honey.
Or I'm eating vegetarian. So good.
So that mac and cheese is about to be in the next book. That's another thing people ask me to make a lot. So that's one, that's just that good old Southern home cooking.
Yeah.
Alabama. My mom, she did everything from scratch growing up. Like she made biscuits, homemade everything.
Yeah.
And then she stopped as we got older, but we just sit and watch her, and her pound cake is really phenomenal. And I'm gonna see if she'd let me put that in the book, but it'll be hers. I'll just, the next one, but her pound cake is to die for. And on the holidays, I mean, everybody's lining up at our door. Like, yeah, in the house. I just talk about too, just food is so exciting. Like just the smell smells your whole house. The whole house smells like pound cake. Right. Yeah. And that memory when I walk in that house to this day, when I smell that pound cake and I know it's cooking, it's just like, wow, it takes me all the way back to when I was 8, or 10.
Yeah. Mine was yeast rolls. My mom used to, oh my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Yeast bread. Oh my Lord. I know when I lived in Michigan, I was like, Mom, can you just make me some? And don't cook them. Just make me the dough and I'll take them all the way to Michigan. I was trying to savor it. It was so
Listen,
good.
that dough, I understand it. You sometimes you just need a little bit of that dough. My mom would do the same with the Christmas cookies, her Christmas sugar cookies.
Yeah.
She'd wrap it in foil and just put the dough. She's like, look, I'm too old to be cutting these cookies. But she just throw the dough in our refrigerator now. But my kids love making it. It's like generational. Because she would do it with us, and now she'll do it with our kids and do the cookies. That's good. So every now and then she'll come out and cut some cookies and decorate them. But
have to stretch the cookies. I started having drop cookies. You can make so many more cookies when you drop them.
Yes.
Yes, I just drop them.
Mm-hmm.
And then have like 3 or 4 bowls and have different flavors in each bowl. Coconut and
what? When am I coming over? I know I'm ready. I want that pie, that sweet potato pie that y'all talked to me about.
I would dirt up a lot of stuff.
But she doesn't cook like that now, though. She doesn't cook
now.
Yeah,
my mom.
They slowed down. I was like, you try to get that flavor and it's gone. I was like, I had them have it exactly like it was when I was a child.
I know. My mom's going to Panera these days. She's like, girl, I just got some soup, and some bread, and some salad from Panera. That's her spot.
And so I want to talk about because you were talking about eating like this, like only for special occasions or something like that. But during your journey, were you like eating healthy?
Sometimes. No, in the beginning. Oh, yes. In the beginning, I was really concerned about just resetting my body and because it just strengthens your immune system in general. But I still do a heavy load of vitamins and turmeric every day, ginger and turmeric, like the anti-inflammatory diet. I have a heavy anti-inflammatory diet. Blueberries, I still incorporate all those things, but everything I consume is not that. But I try to balance. I try to have a healthy balance. I love fruits and vegetables. I'm always doing heavy on that. But then I might have that waffle on Sunday. I'm gonna have that ice cream. I treat myself. So I'm not as strict as I used to be. It was a long time when I didn't eat any red meat, but now I'll eat it, but it's just every now and then I'll have a steak.
Yeah.
A lot of moderation.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water.
Right. So do you have that antibacterial recipe blog, like a blog? Do you have one of those?
You mean anti-inflammatory?
I'm sorry. I said
so
that.
Yeah. Because I was like, wait, did I say?
No, yes, I did. I'm sorry.
No, not at this time. I do not have a blog about those things, but in my because I'm journeying. So I hope to have a series of books, and this is the first. So as I'm doing my next one, I'll definitely want to incorporate more of that into my next installment.
Yes, and do a blog so I can look at it.
I will blog everything, and I just right now just blog it on my Instagram. But I'm going to continue to evolve with that and to grow into those spaces and talk about more of that because it's really important. It's just as important as the emotional and well-being and just mental health, because a lot of going through the cancer journey for 27 years has been a mental health journey of self-care. And that's what, I talk a lot about my self-care journey and what that looks like and what that routine is. And, we have to wake up intentionally and be mindful of our journey and purpose and why we're here. What does God put us here for? And are we operating in our gifts and our purpose? And who can we bless today? And that's a lot of part why I was working as an attorney for so long. And I wanted to do more meaningful work. And now I live every day helping families, and I love it.
Oh, it's so
absolutely
good.
Love it. Yeah.
That's part of your healing, helping others.
Oh, yeah.
Heal you.
And understanding why I'm here.
And
what about your sleep pattern?
Take your mind off of yourself too.
Right. So your thyroid, you said sleep. Oh yeah, I'm a 8-hour person. I try to get 8 hours, but the thyroid is very tied to your sleep, and it can sometimes and that's sometimes how I'm keyed into like, okay, I need to check my levels. Maybe I'm overactive or underactive, because when you gain weight, you might need more, or if you lose weight, you might need less. So adjusting that thyroid level has been a challenge for 27 years. But sometimes when I have trouble sleeping, I feel like, okay, I need to go check in with my doctor and just see if I'm okay. But I do require a lot of rest. And that is when our cells regenerate and restore and renew our body. So we do need to unplug at night and get our rest, So that's very important to your immune system as well.
But isn't that so hard though? It is so hard to
get. It is, but it feels so good the next day.
And I have to work on that.
You just can close your eyes the next day. Just be in a peaceful place and just shut your eyes. I be wanting to do that when I'm walking around. I was like, you can't close your eyes. Why? Because when you close your eyes, it seems like it's so peaceful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just do some deep breathing.
Yeah, deep breathing. Absolutely.
And it's hard too, because we feel like that's our time, right? Because all day we've been going. So finally we get to lay down, and it's our time to do what we want to do and just kind of if it's mindless, just relaxing, then you can get caught in that rabbit hole. Because that social media stuff's a rabbit hole.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Cut it off.
You're looking at one meme, then you're looking at one funny video, then on to the next, and it's just like, oh my God, I'm never going to sleep. So I occasionally get in that trap, and then I just hate it the next day.
Right. Shane, we have a few minutes. Can you hold your book up so everybody and tell them where to get it? And please support her and follow her on Instagram, Uppity Brunch, right?
And Amazon. You can get my paperback, and I hope you enjoy it. Uppity Brunch.
Can you flip through
a 5-star brunch at home.
Can you flip through some of the pages? Like open it up a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh,
that is beautiful.
Let's see what I can find here. Oh, turn to the buttermilk chicken tenders. Who doesn't love a good fried chicken?
Cauliflower, y'all. If y'all vegetarian, get the cauliflower. Make her recipe.
How about those greens?
Oh, man. We like college, y'all.
Well, Shana, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Yes,
really,
thank you guys for having me.
You're so beautiful, and we love the spirit.
You guys too. I love this whole family thing. It's amazing. I love you guys.
Yeah. Oh, and so we just want everybody in virtual land, Mama would say virtual land, to share this video and share that book. Somebody get that book. All right. Yes. Take care. All right. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye, Shana.
Bye, Shana.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. So we have our, sorry, y'all. Pet peeves, and we're bringing on, look who we have tonight. Melanie is here.
Melanie. All we can see is your hat.
So we have Chillin with the girls. Anybody have any pet peeves they want to share tonight?
Yes, I do. We need some light. Okay, one of my pet peeves is, oh, this is so bad. Now, I do like popping gum, and I don't mind people popping gum, but don't pop gum like in a classroom setting. Or when you're in a meeting or something. you know, you just, oh, I can't stand it. You just want to say, will you stop that, please?
Who does that? That's bad.
It's horrible, but people do it. Oh, they do it.
I was asking, like, are you popping gum? They're like, no, I'm not popping gum. I was like, it sounds like you. It was a sound. It sounded like somebody was just popping gum. I looked at the person, but it was in church. And like, I'm not popping gum, girl. So anyway, Ken is on here. Hey, Ken.
Ken.
Lady says she's still having internet problems.
Oh.
So is Mel. Mom, do you have any pet peeves?
I have one. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Sometimes you try to teach the children, like in Sunday school, and they go drumming on desks, you know, making the noise on the desk. Yes. And they can't, it's like they can't help it. It's so spontaneous. They stop and they start back again, you know.
It's just so crazy.
It's annoying.
And it's like, and sometimes they be like, well, I'm only hurting you. I'm not hurting anybody else. Okay, well, let's just be considerate. They're not very considerate. I have a lot of traffic pet peeves.
Oh.
Now, one of my pet peeves is, I shouldn't tell them. I'm going to tell them myself. When you are, I don't drive as much anymore, but when you are driving down the road and you're thinking, I'm going to go through this yellow light, but the car in front of you doesn't go through the yellow light.
Oh, so wonder. And you trying to hurt, and you speeding up, thinking they can make it, and I'm going right after them with it.
No, you know what? Tawana, let me tell you what happened. Your dad did that. It was raining early Saturday. We were taking care of some business, and the lady in front of us, you know, the light was yellow, and he thought she was going through.
Yes,
and he hit her right in the back. And
now I've never done that.
I know, but see, it was raining, and you do you not know? I said, you know, you can't think inside of other people's heads.
That's
you don't
so
know what they're thinking.
Yeah, that's why
it could have been really ugly because she called the police and everything because we had our license, insurance papers. So I'm calling the police
because he hit
you know
her.
What the police said when he came?
What's that?
Said, oh, it's so many what you call it? So many accidents this morning because it's raining. He said,
yeah,
it's so many fender benders. He said, because
well, he didn't know Dad was trying to make that light.
No,
can you turn your light on? You think?
Well, I know I came close to hitting the car, but I didn't. Thank God. I had to swerve into the next.
I'm gonna tell you what to do, Tawanda, when you do that. Mommy is not gonna agree. So let's say the car is slowing down, or you trying to make it. You just shoot around, Tawanda, and just keep on.
Oh, see, when I shot around, I did shoot around, but when I shot around, I had to stop at the light.
But now, suppose they were strapped on the side and you couldn't swing around to the right.
I know that's why it's dangerous.
Then you stop.
I know, but that's still a pet peeve of mine.
It's just a pet peeve, Mom.
Mel was about to say something.
Yeah, I think you can go around them. Because there's enough space, like in the middle, between your lane and then the other lane.
There's 2 lanes?
Yes,
it all depends on how big your car is.
Because they're not going to be all the way by the line, so you got enough space to go around. Or you go to the gas station. You just turn somewhere else. Just turn.
Oh goodness, girls!
I know somebody who doesn't like stopping at red lights, and then they drive through gas stations. It's the craziest thing, or parking lots, so they can avoid the red lights.
But do you know that can be against the law? Because
I heard about that.
Everything we say.
No, but do y'all remember?
You don't want a ticket.
I'm not gonna say any names, but do y'all
remember
remember
when there's not a cop around? That's all.
That's right, Mel. Pay attention.
It's not a what?
When there's not a cop around, you don't see a cop. I always look for cops.
Do y'all remember when this one person used to drive and they hated coming to the red light? So they would make a right turn on red, do a U-turn to get to the green light.
It is somebody you know.
And you know what? And sometimes when they made that right turn on red and they turned red, and they still couldn't go. That was funny.
But you know what else is funny? When you don't want to go to the red light, and there's a little alley street before the red light. You go down through the alley street, and you try to get to the main street, and there's another light. But you know the light is in favor of the thorough traffic.
Right.
You slow it slows you down even more.
What traffic? The what traffic?
The thorough traffic, thoroughfare traffic.
Okay.
She said it's in flavor of the traffic.
What flavor?
What does that mean?
No flavor.
So look,
You know what I mean? The main traffic, Melanie.
So look, I have a pet peeve. So
okay,
so let's say you buy some juice or something like that, and you put it in the refrigerator. Like the other day, I bought some grape juice from Sam's Club. So it came in like 2 of them. So I put it in the refrigerator, and people know it's in that refrigerator. It's my refrigerator. It's my juice. So you come down, and somebody open your juice.
Well, how many refrigerators do you have? Since you said
I have 2. So and they know it's not theirs.
Oh man.
And so you know what I did? I took out the Sharpie and I put Mama T all over my juice. Like it was like, I mean, like you couldn't read some of them. And I just made sure it was all. I should have put it on the top. But guess who did it? You know who did it, don't you?
Who did it? Who did it?
Dominique.
Oh no.
I was like,
but maybe he could do like Melanie used to do. Remember, Daddy had a little line where his juice stopped.
No, he had a rubber band, Mom.
He had sometimes, and Melanie would drink it and move the line.
Move the rubber band. It was a rubber band. It was around it.
That's
I thought it was a magic marker too.
No, ma'am. It was a rubber band. So, Mom, you have a pet peeve?
Not really.
Nothing bothers you at all? Yes, something does.
Yeah. Like for an example, I got out of bed right quick. I took a nap before the show came on and just jumped up and forgot I had that foot. Because sometimes I forget.
That's
not
I've been working good for 3 weeks.
That's not a pet peeve.
That's not a pet peeve.
Not a pet peeve. What in the world? This is
I got a pet peeve,
What's your
yeah.
pet peeve now?
Now, when you tell your pet peeve, I got a story about your pet peeve.
Oh, see? That ain't even right.
No, go ahead, Mel. Go ahead.
No, you go to the grocery store because now I get those brown eggs instead of what they call the cage free or something.
Yeah.
That's good too.
So they're not like the white eggs. You can check them or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you bring them home.
Uh-oh.
And a couple of them be cracked, but you can't open them to check to see if all of them. Yes, because it's sealed.
The plastic wrap.
It has plastic all on them.
Oh, wow.
You come home, you can't even tell if any of them are cracked. So that's what I usually do. I pick them up and, check to see if any cracked inside the carton with the white eggs.
Yeah.
Whatever. But since I've been getting the cage free, I can't check them. So I just don't know if they're cracked eggs in there.
Melanie, did you try taking her back to the store?
I was going to ask her that.
No, I don't have no time to be doing that. I be tired. I don't feel like going back to the store.
Yes. Then you know what, Mel? This is what happened to me. It's not about eggs, but it's about taking stuff back to the store. Don't you hate when you get strawberries? And like I had strawberries I only had them for 2 days. Like the next day, they were like all moldy. But they weren't moldy in the store.
Now,
right.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Now. Fruit is like that. I mean, you buy it 2 days, they all messed up. I don't understand.
Well, then I took them back because I like to eat strawberries. So I did take them back.
You took them, what the people, you took them back after 2 days?
I did. Yeah, with my receipt.
What did they say?
They said, "Oh, you the one who had the bad strawberries?" I said, "Yes." Well, go get some more. And I
you called them?
No, I left them on the counter. That's another pet peeve. When there is one person in customer service and they are helping somebody else. It's like, why is there only one person in customer service? It should be more than one. So I had to stand there forever. And I was trying to get back home, because the grocery store is about 5 minutes away from me, so I can drive that far. And so I was trying to get back home to do a 10 o'clock meeting or whatever. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So while I left the bag there, I went and got my stuff and brought it back to the counter. And somebody must have told the customer service person that I had bad strawberries.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of workers in those grocery stores anymore.
Oh, but you know, they don't mind taking
you gotta,
food back.
because you have to check out your own food.
Yeah.
You know, they only have one cashier, one person in customer service, one person stocking the food up on the shelf.
Well, the person that's in customer service should stay in customer service and not help somebody else.
Oh, you mean
they don't have a lot of workers.
They don't.
But see, besides they saving money, that's why they have to self-checkout.
Yeah.
So they saving money.
They think they saving money.
I just forgot my other pet peeve because I was talking about the strawberries. Oh, man.
Oh, I had a little pet peeve. You know, I had my
Is this a real pet peeve, Mom?
I have a little small saucepan that's just for my tea, for my water with the little sprout.
I gotta buy you a tea kettle.
Then people use it for other stuff. And if you put water in it, sometimes the residue for what they used it for is still in there.
Because they didn't clean it?
That was probably Daniel. Tell Daniel don't be using your pot for nothing else.
You
need an electric tea kettle.
No, I don't drink it that much, but when I want
to still me either, but it's still good. I have every gadget. I don't use them all the time, but it's just good to have them when you need them. Then not to need it and not have it. So that's why I buy all my gadgets. Y'all don't even
I don't blame you on some of that stuff, love, but some of that stuff you should be able to do without.
Yeah. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. I think it is.
That's my pet peeve. That's my pet peeve.
What's your pet peeve, Mom?
Seeing my daughters wasting their money like that.
Yeah. You need to go to AA, Tish.
You know what, Mel? I cannot tell Tish something that I got because you know what? I called myself. Now I thought I was an infomercial-aholic, right? I'm not the aholic. Tish is the aholic.
But where you think you got
that from? What's that?
Where you think you got that from?
Probably from my daddy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Tish needs to go to AA.
Right. GA.
Because look,
no, AA.
What is
Appliances Anonymous.
But look, I cannot share with Tish anything that I got.
That's not true.
Oh, I don't have that. I need to get that.
It is true.
But you know what Letitia gave me?
True.
It was from her house, and the children, they didn't know what it was. They put something on it. It was a banana rack.
What's wrong with a banana rack?
Nothing wrong with a banana rack, Mom.
Banana rack. Oh, I have a funny story. We have 1 minute. I have a funny story. So somebody was talking to Tish, and they were like, "Oh, Tish, guess what? I just bought a new toy." And Tish was like, "What you buy? A car?"
I said, "What? What you buy? What?
A car?" And they were like, "No, not a car. My new toy was a pressure cooker." And Tish said, "That's not a toy. That's a necessity."
That's sad.
They talking about they got a toy. She said, "My son, what? You got a new car? Girl, that's not a toy."
I just think you need that stuff. That's my pet peeve.
That's funny.
Trying to open up something and not have the gadget for it. I'm be like, "Oh my good!" And then
I got a pet peeve right now.
What's your pet peeve?
It just now happened.
What happened?
I'm on the show, chilling with the girls, and on my phone, and then somebody called me. They know I'm on the show from 6 to 7 every Friday. And then they call me and say, "Are you on the show?"
You know what? She reminds me of my mom. You know, my mom would do me Tish. Lady. She'll call me. And I said, "Yes." She said, "Oh, are you home?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am."
Well, thank y'all so much for listening, looking at Chillin with chilling with the girls today, and get that book, y'all. At those recipes, she has some really good recipes. How do you see her table settings?
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Who has those in that book? So get that book.
She said we're gonna have to do brunch, ladies.
Barnes and Noble and Amazon. Yep, get that book.
What's the name of the book?
You can go to upptybrunch.com, right?
Uppity Brunch.
Yeah.
Okay, we will see y'all next week, guys. Love you. Have a great day. All right, bye.
Great rest of your weekend.